Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Speak Now Pro Wrestling. It is time to chat Backlash 2025. And we got myself, Denise Salcedo, and I am joined once again by none other than Wheezy Blonde. Good to have you back here on the channel. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Thanks for having me. I'm feeling really good about all of that, which I needed. So
Yes, yes. Well, let's get to it. We got Backlash.
go.
And I like, oh my God, I don't even know where to begin. Honestly, I can start at the top of the show, I can start at the end of the show. But based off of like what I've been seeing from people's comments and whatnot, it feels like some people really like the show. Some people kind of had mixed feelings where they didn't really love it as much. I think for me, I felt really good about the start of the show.
Mhm.
And then towards the end of the show, I started going, oh, this is totally going in so many different directions. Before we break it all down, for you as a whole, what did you think of Backlash?
Actually, as a whole, I really liked the entire thing, like from start to finish. I don't know that it continued on every match, and I was like, oh, this is different. Oh, this is different. Just because I feel like you go into these things and you hear multiple people saying different things and rumors, and I usually block that out. So I'm just kind of sitting there. Oh, no, oh, I like this. I like the way. No, that I like the way this is going. Okay, there was only a few times in each match where I'm kind of where is this happening? Especially the last one.
Yes. Okay. Well, then let's go ahead and get started there because if I wait any longer, I'm going to forget everything that just happened in that main
Let's
event.
do that one while it's fresh.
Yes, while
There's
it's
a lot that
fresh in my
happened.
mind. After this, okay, so I have like a separate recording file where I like record my reactions and whatnot, and I usually start and stop like after every match. And when I looked at that recording for just the John Cena Randy stuff, like entrances, video package, the match, the aftermath, I think that file ended up being like 53 minutes.
Oh my gosh, you do it all at once?
Yeah, so
Oh
all at
gosh.
once, and I was
Oh,
looking at that and I'm like, "Yo, like 53 minutes for just the John Cena Randy stuff. This is wild, right?" So anyways, but this just kind of goes to show I don't know how long the actual matchup was, but there was just a lot that went down in this. So going into this, the first thing that I had asked people during the live watch along was, "Do you think this match will be better, worse, or the exact same as what we saw at WrestleMania with Cody and with John?" And everybody was basically expecting a slightly better match. I do think this match was a million times better than what we saw at WrestleMania. However, for me, Wheezy, it got to the point where there was so much shenanigans that I thought, oh my God, I kind of feel silly at some points because you already know what's going to happen. A lot of it feels really telegraphed. But what we got was a ton of finishers from both men, a bunch of AAs, a bunch of RKOs, table spots. We got I think 3 or 4 ref bumps. We got at one point the entire back office coming out there, and they're not being an additional referee. And Randy Orton gets screwed. Gets a visual pin on John Cena at one point, and there's no referee to count it there. I mean, I can't even tell you everything that happened in this match. There was so much, but John Cena, of course, retains his championship. God, I don't know. Weezy, start wherever you want on your thoughts on this, and we'll just get to it.
I had a thought in the middle of the match that and it was before the shenanigans happened. I didn't expect there to be that many shenanigans because my chat is going off being, "Oh yeah, this is a real wrestling match. They're taking it back old school, they're taking it back classic." And then it kept evolving. They're saying this for the first 20 minutes, and then suddenly oh, they're doing finisher after finisher and they keep kicking out of it. Why does this keep happening? What do you think about all of these people kicking out of these finishers all the time? Don't you think it's too much anymore? And I'm kind of, yeah, but at the same time, okay, let's let them keep going. I didn't think that Randy and John would include that many shenanigans in their match. I didn't expect the announce table saw John going through an announce table, John going through a table, taking his own AA on an outside table. It was the kind of stuff that I like, just fun, kind of silly. I don't know, I didn't expect that from them in this being a last match between the 2 of them, and I
Yes, like they
definitely
did a lot.
they did. The biggest thing, the actual thought I had in watching was there's no way that they'll have R-Truth involved in this. I really, as much of a bit as it's been for so long, I did not think that that would actually happen. And then there he was. And I just they're committing. They're doing it. There's so much. There's just so much. The only other I had a when all of the back end came out, so you had Nick Aldis come out and Hurricane and all them. When I was like, "What are you gonna do? Revive Eddie Orengo? What are all of you doing out there? What is the purpose of this?" I really was like, "This is getting goofy." And then the purpose was to RKO all of them, and then I was fine with it. Like, "Oh, that's fine." I
It
have
was
no
like
issue with
select
that
portions that
whatsoever.
you liked here and there.
Mhm. It's fine.
So, and like, I feel like the R-Truth stuff, at that point, I just thought, okay, everybody and their mothers is coming out. Like, this is kind of just super overbooked at this point. So I thought, might as well have at it. I think they did the R-Truth stuff really to kind of just like pop the internet and pop the crowd and have the thing of like, oh, hey, R-Truth is out there. So it felt like just a little extra, a bonus on top of everything that they were already doing. But I really think that the part for me that took me out of it, because I did like the matchup for like from the beginning. Once like they started doing all that additional stuff, okay, that's when I started to lose interest, because once you don't have a referee out there and you're sending all of these people from the back and you're telling me there's not one other referee in the back, that was the part that I couldn't buy. And I'm like, I can't buy that. I just can't. Like, come on, don't be like jerking me around. I know for a fact that there's another referee back there. Just do it. So I think that part for me kind of got a little hokey, but I did like the stuff prior to all of the shenanigans that we saw unfold there. So, with that being said, though, of course, John Cena remains afterwards. Oh, this is I'm curious to see your thoughts on this, because afterwards, John Cena cut a little bit of a promo and he starts talking about how he wants new challengers. So he's looking like he's looking for a challenge.
Mhm.
I thought that somebody was going to come out here. I thought something was going to happen and then it didn't. Were you at all expecting that?
I was actually I wanted to ask you if you thought that at some point somebody was gonna come out. So I didn't. I actually held strong throughout the entire match that I didn't think anyone was going to be coming out or interfering or whatever. And then we got the credits up. You got, "Oh, Paul Levesque and Lee Fitting," and I said, "Oh, yeah, nothing." And then it rolled over into his continuing to talk in the ring, and I went, "Oh, maybe, maybe," but I didn't know who, and then it didn't happen. So I still didn't anticipate it, but there's always that little bit of doubt when something like that happens and rolls into it. I really didn't think anybody was gonna come out, but the entirety of the match, of the whole thing, did you think there might be some kind of interference or something like that?
You know, I there was one point where people were bringing up, "Oh, this is where Cody Rhodes is going to come out,"
Yeah,
and I
that's
started
what
to go,
happened too.
"Huh, I could kind of see that. I could kind
Mhm.
of see Cody Rhodes coming out here." And I had actually in my backlash predictions, I thought Cody Rhodes was going to come out here tonight, and no Cody
Really?
Rhodes, by the way, no Cody Rhodes. Yeah, I was thinking, okay, well, here's the reason. Let me explain
Okay.
why I thought Cody was going to come out, because when I looked at this card, I thought, okay, very, very predictable. All of the winners to me were very predictable. In fact, every single person that I predicted would win tonight won tonight,
Me
including the
too.
Becky Lyra match. See, girl, that's what I'm saying. Like, predictable today. So, but also very nice to get the predictions right, right?
Yeah, 'cause I never
But
do, so
yeah, yeah, it's nice when it happens. It's really nice. So, but with that, like for me, I'm looking at that and I'm going, okay, we're gonna kind of need some surprises, right? Something a little extra to happen. And I think for me, I wanted to know, okay, what is after this for John Cena, right? Like, when do we get back? I know we're not going to get back to Cody instantly, but when are we getting back to Cody? Who is that next person for John? When John said he was looking for a new challenge, I truthfully did not have an answer for him. I'm going, damn, bro. I'm wondering too. And I think that was part of the reason why I was kind of expecting Cody here, only for that reason. The reason that I thought everything kind of felt too predictable and we needed a little bit of something noteworthy, heading into the pay-per-view. That's why I thought that.
that's fair. That's fair.
So,
Go ahead. You could
oh no, 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 you go for it. Go for it. You're good. You're good.
No, my thought process of it was just, because my chat and I were discussing this, and with CM Punk having come back within 2 weeks after WrestleMania, and they're like, "Oh, Punk's back, Punk's back." It's like, well, he had like a mini vacation. It's not like he was gone for a significant amount of time. So I figured, well, they'll have Cody gone for maybe a month or so, at least more, and then have him come back and it be a little more of a, oh wow, there he is. But I agree with you on the point that now, okay, who is it going to be? We did see, and it could be just Punk being Punk, but he did post a Instagram story. He's at home in his living room taking pictures of the TV on his wall, and there was the caption of John saying something like, "I am the last real champion," or champion, and Punk or took a picture of it and put "for now." So
Yes,
I don't
that's
know
good.
if that's where we're going. I don't know.
Look, you mentioning that, thank you so much because I had not seen that on
Like my
social media
chat.
yet. No,
They pointed me in that
thank you.
direction.
I'm like, thank you for that because legit, I had no idea that this was he had even posted this. So I'm looking at this as okay, if that is the case, great, because if you recall, after Elimination Chamber, CM Punk was one of the ones who actually called out John Cena. Remember when he did that promo on Raw and he had said, it was the one where he called The Rock a bald fraud.
The
He had
big
also,
bald fraud, yep,
yes,
yep, okay.
he had also mentioned John Cena during that. So
Yes, he
I'm
did.
looking at this and going, okay, if we need something big, like here's the thing. I think someone said there's like what 23 dates left with John Cena,
Yeah.
and there's not that many. So if you do want to knock out certain feuds, you're gonna kind of have to get to them pretty fast. John Cena, CM Punk, they have a storied history, and that is one of those feuds that I've seen a lot of people want to resurface that.
Do you think we're done with Orton Cena? You think that was it?
I think this has to be it. Yeah.
I think
Even
so
though
too.
Randy got screwed, like Randy could use this maybe for later. I just don't know. Even if they did decide to run it back, I don't know that I have a desire to see it again. I was fine knowing that this was the last time.
I think this is a fitting ending for them. I do. I think it's a fitting ending for them with all of with everything that happened. You can't do something with that much in it and then be like, "Oh, let's go again." Just be kind.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into some of these super chats and then we'll continue with the rest of the show. We got Dominik Cena here who says Backlash 2025 is better than Mania 40. JK, but better than 41. I was about to say 40. You meant to
40.
say 41, bro.
Hold on.
I even thought I read your super chat wrong. Thank you, Dominic. We got Bailey Darley here with a very generous super chat. Bailey, thank you so much. He says Backlash was better than the main event. Oh no, sorry. Backlash was better than main event. I loved everything and really hope a rematch happens. I didn't expect Lyra to retain, and I'm excited for Jacob's face turn. So, Bailey, you got a lot of really good stuff in here. I want to dive into the Lyra Valkyria Becky Lynch match because that was the one that I had really hoped that Lyra would win, but I knew I was kind of risking it, right? Like I
Yeah.
had said, okay, Lyra's my pick, but I was also thinking, oh, I'm probably going to be wrong in this pick here. So when Lyra did get the victory, oh, I was so happy. It just felt right. What I loved about this was that this was a wrestling match. They went in there and they worked so beautifully with each other. And all of my favorite part in this was when Becky got really nasty with Lyra, when she started slapping her a bunch of times. And at one point, she's just like smashing her head into the mat. Oh, I loved that part. And there was just so much nice back and forth between both of them that I thought they did a really good job wrestling wise, knocked it out. Then when Lyra got the win and she got it fast, it was one of those things where I almost wasn't sure if I even saw the 3 count. And then when I realized that like it really was a 3 count, I was so thrilled. And so the aftermath, though, was Becky going in and attacking Lyra and everybody running out there and trying to stop her here. So, two things. How did you feel about Lyra winning this? And then the follow up question is about Bailey. Were you expecting Bailey at all during this?
How I feel about Lyra winning is that I love it because going into WrestleMania, I wasn't super hot on it because they didn't even have the IC title match on the card. It felt like Lyra wasn't doing anything. And then when they introduced Becky, it was like, oh, okay. And then that continued to elevate it and it continued to get better. So with Lyra winning, I think Becky made her look really, really helped her make her look really strong. She's been really strong in her promos on the television shows the last couple weeks, and just in this match in general, all of the reversals and just all of the counters and just things that she was doing with her made her look awesome. So I think it's great that she gets to retain it and kind of keep building on that. Like, as if she's gonna look strong now, she might as well keep holding on to the title rather than just dropping it to Becky and trying to get it back. Um, what was the second part?
Oh, and Bailey coming back.
Bailey coming back. I'm one of those people that I didn't see it happening, but I was open to the possibility of it. I didn't think that it would, but I was kind
So
of
I mean, here's the thing though. If it did though, I would be. It feels weird. Okay, so I don't know. Ask me if I'm wrong here because I'm not sure. It kind of feels weird because even though she attacked Bailey and Bailey is out the door, it doesn't feel like even though Bailey has a reason to come in here and get her revenge on Becky Lynch for what she did, it doesn't feel like that's the story because we know the story is between Becky and Lyra. So it's like this weird mix where Bailey is part of the story, but she's also not.
I think she could be at some point. The thing that I feel like I took away from the match, especially in Becky's frustration, when she went out to go get the chair, it became the thing that I said was, "Okay, this isn't about the title for Becky. This isn't she didn't care. She went and grabbed that chair. She doesn't care if she is holding the Intercontinental title or not. She's got someone else in Lyra that is out wrestling her, that's making her look bad. Becky's not able to be big time Bex and just easily take her down. Lyra's kicking out of everything. She's countering everything. Becky's having to throw everything that she possibly can in order to keep her down, and she's not able to. So for me, it feels more like this is a Becky just trying to prove her place rather than trying to capture another title. And I think excuse me, I think Bailey might be able to weave her way into that because of that particular piece. Like, let Lyra and Becky, have this, but then Bailey can kind of insert herself and be like, "Hey, actually, I'm here too, and I'm one of the greatest, and let me show you what I can do." So I hope that at some point is what happens.
So, okay, you mentioned something that I thought was very, very key in there. You said that you felt Becky is trying to prove her place. Like it's not just about her beating Lyra, but her trying to prove her dominance that she's the top competitor here, that she's the better Irish girl, whatever you want to see it, right?
Mhm.
Now, Lyra has officially defeated Becky Lynch 2 times on NXT and here for championships as well. So I mean, when she challenged for him, when she retained. So now, if you recall, back in her last Raw promo, she had told Becky, I know that someday, or I want to be a better person than you, but I already know that I'm a better wrestler than you. And now she's got 2 wins to prove that. And I kind of want to see, which we did kind of see today. I want to see Becky Lynch spiral. And her attack and the way she reacted afterwards to Lyra is showing us that she's doing just that
Oh,
she's
she absolutely
spiraling.
was. Her eyes were wide and she's just like running her hands through her hair and she's just absolutely losing it. And then pummeling into Lyra after the match is even over just because of that frustration of like, oh well, I'm still gonna wail on you. I don't really care if the match is over. Like it's way more personal. It's way more her fighting not only with Lyra, but I think with herself. So makes sense to me.
Dude, I'm sorry. I'm a big fan of this. This was my match of the night. Weezy, I don't know if this was your match of the night, but
I'm
it just
having a
was
hard time
incredible.
deciding. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure what is.
Ooh. Wait, so which one is your second option or your tied option?
Honestly? And it's for specific reasons, like, I understand, like, you have to understand with me, it's not always, like, the technical standpoint, it is Gunther and Pat, solely
Oh
because
shit.
I
Okay.
know, you probably thought the fir no, solely because of investment in it, my reaction to it being I thought it was really great, like, the chemistry that they had and Gunther going just it was good.
Okay, we're gonna have some interesting thoughts here because I felt a little bit differently about it, but I can't wait to get into that. Bailey, thank you so much
I
for
love
your generous super chat. We got Bailey Darley who also says Backlash was better than WrestleMania. I hard to say because there was just so much more with WrestleMania, so I really can't. I don't feel confident agreeing
it's such a
just because there
different
was so
thing.
much. Yes,
This was
yes.
such a shorter show, it's building off of stuff that happened at Mania, it's just a different
I feel you. We got Uncle Donk here who says, was Lyra selling her nose at the end or was she hurt for real? The female IC match was second to the main. I give the whole show a 3.5 out of 5. Main event 4 out of 5. That's too bad actually, Uncle Dunk. I feel like that's a fine little rating there. And I think I mean I would hope that she was just selling. I hope she's not like seriously hurt or anything like that. But given the fact that those two girls, the way that they went for it, I wouldn't, obviously in situations like that, you can get hurt. But no, I'm hoping that she was just selling and all of that. What do you think, Weezy?
I hope she was selling that person was from my chat. Hi, Donk. And I had just mentioned, well, there's no blood or anything. It's really hard to say until you get like confirmation, but I hope she was okay.
We got Dominik Cena here who says, Wheezy Blonde, I now introduce you to the one and only Plan B. So we were talking about this. We
I
made a
mean,
joke. I make very inappropriate jokes all the time.
oh, I'm used to that.
So
That's fine.
So, unfortunately, Santi was having trouble with his stream, and I'm sure you saw some
Of
people
course I
like
know.
hopping in. And so I was when people came in into my stream, they were like, "Oh, Denise, you're a backup for me," and I'm like, "Let's go! I'm your Plan B. Come on!" So now I'm writing with the Plan B nickname
I love that.
for
I
that.
usually am like, "Oh, great. I have custody for today. I get to be the babysitter for right now. Awesome.
Yes,
Great.
take
Welcome
it.
in."
Take it while you can. We got Toby here who says, took my brother to the show who hasn't watched in like 10 years. Last time he watched it with Thina Randy for every show, had a great time, and Jacob Fatu blew his mind. Isn't that funny how like time just shit happens during time? I don't know what to say, but Jacob Fatu, though, blowing his mind. I love that because Jacob Fatu is incredibly over. So let's get into that, Weezy, because I love this match. This was my second favorite match of the night. Was this one here, this Fatal Four Way, and I was thrilled with this because it gave me everything that I wanted. I wanted to see Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre have their moment in this matchup. We continue to see Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre continue their whole feud. They had a whole big like they basically went off and had their own match, their own thing by the end of it. And so it really just left Fatu and Ali Knight. So Fatu, though, gets help by Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa, as Ellie Knight was going to the top rope, and he had set up set up Jacob Fatu there on the commentary table, but Solo Sikoa came out and dragged him out. And at first, I'm already thinking, like, dang, Jacob Fatu's not going to like that. He's made it very clear he does not like having Solo Sikoa's help. But then he had some additional help from none other than debuting Jeff Cobb, and I am so happy Jeff Cobb is in WWE. Dude has worked so hard. I am very happy for him. So let's talk about this match. How did you feel about what you saw? Favorite parts, and how do you feel about the direction in which they're headed?
I feel like it delivered on every level that I wanted it to, like you were saying. I was expecting and hoping for more continuation between Damian and Drew, or at least some kind of callback to it. And for me, I am a certified, first of all, I love Drew McIntyre, but on stream and in watching, he sucks and he's a crybaby. So I loved that he got screwed over again by Damian Paul. Oh, it's chef's kiss. It was amazing. Loved that. But watching Jacob just annihilate, I really loved, and I was hoping that would be the case and that he would retain solely because of how charismatic he is and how over he is with the crowd. I didn't think that his reign should end just yet. So I like how especially Damian and Drew were able to just kind of go. I hope that Drew is okay. But how they went off and, you know, ended themselves and then allowed LA and Jacob to finish everything up and have everything else happen with Solo interfering and Jeff debuting. Did they say Jeff's name? Because I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't listening to commentary. Did they
Oh,
like
that's
say
a
who he
great
was?
question. I was yelling his name out at the top of my lungs, so I almost feel like I was the one saying his name. I can't
Yeah.
confidently say that commentary said his name. I can't confidently say that only because I was talking over the commentary.
I think they did, because I think I said it and then, like, immediately yeah, my chat okay, they did. At the same
Okay.
time, they did. So, they did introduce him as Jeff Cobb. So, I did not see that happening. I
I'm
didn't
I'm glad. I'm glad that he's here because anybody who's seen Jeff Cobb before, they know,
so
man,
I
dude's
don't
been
know I don't
working.
really know anything about him. I learned
Oh,
about him
dude.
literally yesterday.
Don't worry. So let me tell you right now, this guy is, I think the thing that's going to get over most with him is that his size and the power that he's able to do. Like, he's really good, in my opinion, at like the power movement, like the power move set. But here's the thing is that even though he's like a big guy, he can work with pretty much any single wrestler that you see him with. So I feel like him joining this whole story, like it's perfect. Like, I'm
Yeah.
already dream scene and dream booking or whatever, fantasizing sounds a little too strong, but I already want to see, don't take that the wrong way, I
I
already
won't,
want
but
to
I
see.
can't tell anyone else not to. Just the internet, babes. They're gonna.
But Jacob Fatu and Jeff Cobb, we know that's going to happen. That's inevitable at this point, because it was clear that Fatu did not know that Solo Sikoa had struck this deal with Jeff Cobb. So already there's going to be some tension there. However, it's interesting because how do you think the dynamic is going to work here? Because lately we've been seeing Solo Sikoa take a step back. He went from being the leader to now being in the shadows of Fatu. Now, Jeff Cobb is a strong performer. He's a strong wrestler. I Do you think he falls to the shadows of Jeff Cobb, or do you think Jeff Cobb and him complement each other? Or like, what are the dynamics there? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Like in not knowing a lot about Jeff, just on what I've looked up and what you've told me, I'm wondering if Solo is bringing him in to have someone underneath him again. Because he's lost. The other two aren't even there really ever now. So he's bringing in someone that's similar in being strong. Underneath Solo, and maybe that kind of helps him elevate himself or makes himself feel more important again. I don't know, because I do feel like Solo has kind of fallen to the wayside because of Jacob. Jacob's yelling over him and talking over him and telling him that stop talking. We don't need a game plan. What are you talking about? Like, I'm just going to yell at you. And Solo is threatened by that. So I don't really know what role Jeff will play unless it's just Solo not being confident in him being able to run the roost himself, and he always needs someone directly underneath him as a lackey to help. And how long, if that is the case, how long will Jeff be willing to do that? What will be the thing that drives him to not? Is Solo going to end up all by himself? There's a lot of there's a lot of directions I think that it could probably go.
So here's what I'm thinking. I hate to say this, but I think there's another scenario where we see the exact same thing happen that happened with Jacob Fatu and Solo, where Jeff Cobb kind of outshines Solo Sikoa. Now, I feel like Jacob Fatu still has a lot more of that, like, personality and that intensity than Jeff Cobb. But
Juking in
Jeff
the middle of the
Cobb,
ring, yeah.
yeah, exactly. But Jeff Cobb is still a very, imposing figure, and he's had a lot more experience. So I do think there's a world where Solo kind of falls to the wayside to Jeff Cobb as well, because even just like the visual today, I've seen Solo and Jeff Cobb standing there, instantly I'm like, all right, Fatu, Jeff Cobb. And someone in my chat was like, Bronson Reed, Jeff Cobb. And that was kind of similar to when Jacob Fatu came in here. We were like, Jacob Fatu, this person, that
Mhm.
person. And so it's one of one of those situations where I do think that Jeff Cobb might once again, kind of outshine Solo Sikoa a little bit. But we'll see. I guess it all depends on how they play that whole thing out. But I'm excited about Babyface Fatu. I am here for that.
I am too. I got my
Yeah.
title right here.
Hey!
My baby Mattel title. I'll
Let's
guess no
go.
breaks.
Thank you, Toby. We got well-rounded Leo who says this is awesome. It's becoming an overused chant. Sometimes, yeah, I do have to agree. There's times where people are chanting awesome, and I'm like, is it awesome
Is
though?
it just
I don't
great?
know. We got Luis Arturo Mendez who says, I think the historic rivalry between Cena and Orton may be comparable to Chivas and America or Boston and LA. That's true. I mean, hey, you either pick one side or the other. So, Luis, you're probably onto something there. Thank you so much, Luis. We got a very, very kind super chat by John Taylor. John, you didn't have to, man, but thank you so freaking much. He says, when Wheezy shows up, so does the DWO. Wheezy, I just want to let you know that your hard work is seen and appreciated, and is always to treat you a treat to see you join Denise on a post show. My backlash grade was a solid C. Lyra Becky was great. Gunther Pat McAfee wasn't. Lol. All right, so
I expect to be the unpopular. It's fine.
it's
I know what I
usually
am.
me. It's usually me. Don't worry. It's usually me. Um, okay, so with that
Thank
being
you,
said,
John. Thank you.
yeah, John,
Thank
that's
you.
incredible, man. Weezy, I was gonna say, by the way, everyone loved having you on the Raw show last the day you filled in for Santi. And people were like, hey Denise, we need you to bring Weezy on more. And I was already thinking about bringing you on for Backlash, but seeing the people say they wanted you to hop on to the post shows made me obviously, like reassurance and all of that. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. It's fun talking with you about it.
Let's go. All right. Well, let's get into Gunther Pat McAfee in that case. You ready? Let's
Okay.
do this. All right. I was like, do we want the positive review or okay, my review's not
You're not gonna be
horrible.
yeah.
It's not horrible. Okay, let me just explain here
I
really
would
quick.
actually no, I would like to hear what you have to say because since we see it in probably different ways, I really do. What's your what you got?
All right. So I when everybody was shitting on when this match was made, because there was a lot of people that were like, what the F? They really did Gunther and Pat McAfee. And I kept saying, look, guys, Pat McAfee, first of all, killed it on this promo. It's great. But Pat McAfee has wrestled before and it's been entertaining. I have not hated Pat McAfee in a matchup. I really haven't. Like, I've been enjoying the guy. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the commentary, everything. I'm a fan. Now the appeal to me for this match was to see Gunther go in there and just chop Pat McAfee. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. A very simple girl. It's all I wanted was for him to go out there, chop Pat McAfee, and call it a day. Try to see him go at it, and hey, maybe Goldberg comes out, maybe he doesn't. I don't know, but I was expecting Gunther to kill Pat McAfee. We were making rip jokes, all of that. So he goes out there, and you do see that for the majority of the match, right? Like the top of the match, you're seeing, anytime Gunther would, anytime Pat McAfee would try to chop Gunther, Gunther would get him with a chop back. If Pat McAfee slapped Gunther, Gunther would get him with the slap back. My favorite part was when Pat McAfee went in and chopped Gunther, and Gunther was like, "Nah, here's a big boot for you," and took him out. Right? All of that I enjoyed. The part where I started to lose interest was when they involved Michael Cole. From that point on, the match completely fell down for me. It was climbing, 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 and it just went straight down. Once Michael Cole got involved, I'm like, oh no, this is just gonna be corny. And I'm thinking, all right, I'm like, chop Michael Cole. That's it. That's all I'm gonna redeem this. Didn't happen. Of course, I get it. He's older. It's fine. But then the part where I just couldn't and I just told myself, just end it already, just end this damn match already, was at the end when they had Pat McAfee trying to hulk up when he was being choked out by Gunther. I thought to myself, yo, this is looking hella corny. I cannot buy this. I cannot buy Pat McAfee trying to hulk up. I'm sorry, Wheezy. I just could not buy this. I'm a Pat McAfee fan. This was not it for me. I was out
I
by this point.
I understand. I do. I understand. You know, it was hard to believe. I get it. I know. I think I just really like corny. I think I just like corny. I know because it was well, you know what? That's the thing is it was very obvious to me in the match that Pat was Pat, and he hung in there, but he did what he could. And Gunther, I don't believe Gunther didn't take it easy on him whatsoever. Like you said, Pat did one chop and he's like, "No, no, keep going." I think he let Pat do it like 3 times before Gunther just was like, "Bah!" Like, "Okay, like, let me get you a little adrenaline going before I knock you on your ass." But I think I'm just so I like corny. I just was so much more focused on the corny soap opera, Michael Cole getting up and being like, "Get up, Pat. Get up, Pat," because I was saying, "Cole, get in there." I was like, "Cole, get in there." Cause a DQ, which I thought was possible. Apparently, it wasn't because it didn't happen. And then what happened happened. the rallying of the hulking up and, him getting choked out and lifting up his arm, I understand. I understand that point. I think I also just focus on from a perspective of listening also to Pat just talking to Stephanie on Stephanie's Places, and he has such a respect for the business. It's something he wanted to do. He completely is aware and knows that he does not belong in there, that he should not be, and that they give him the opportunity to do it. And he goes in and he takes it seriously. And if someone like Gunther is willing to do that with him and help him, um, I just have a massive respect for it where I'm just kinda okay with it. I liked that it happened. Pat's gonna be really sore. But it was hokey, it was corny.
What
I
did you
accept.
think when Pat McAfee stood up at the end and still had that little stare down with Gunther?
I really didn't think about that until you just said it. I it's interesting that Pat is able to do that, but to me, it was Gunther just giving a nod, I think. Giving a nod of, "Alright, you did it, okay." Do you think that maybe that is gonna be turning Gunther in a different direction? Do you think maybe Gunther's not quite gonna be an asshole?
My thought on this was they made Gunther look weak. That
Oh,
was my honest thought.
damn
I
it.
thought they made him look weak by having him not be able to easily defeat a guy who is not a full-time wrestler. Yes, he has the wrestling match experience and all of that, but Pat McAfee is not a full-time wrestler.
Right.
So having Gunther not be able to easily defeat him, not be able to finish him off and leave him there on the mat, that to me took away from Gunther. And
Okay.
Gunther's appeal, Gunther's aura, in my opinion, comes from the dominance. Dominant Gunther is what I love. That's the appeal for me. And
Okay.
so seeing them kind of chip away at that, I was not a fan of that. I'm like, yo, I get what they were trying to do because I get what their perspective was. And I think that's part. I think this is why you liked it because because Pat McAfee he went through hell, right? Like he did go
Right.
through hell. He went through hell and he still stood up.
Right.
And so I think people can be like resonating with that by saying, damn, like he went through it, but he still stood up. Like you weren't able to kill his spirit because from the Pat McAfee promos, we can tell that he has a lot of spirit and you weren't able to kill that by having him standing strong and all of that. So on that side of it, great. I love that for Pat McAfee. I don't love that for Gunther though. I don't love that for him. For him, I felt like he had to kind of finish off Pat McAfee there and like go. And then mind you, Pat McAfee didn't even tap. He didn't even
I
tap.
know he
They
did, he turned
protected
purple.
Pat McAfee more in this match than they did Gunther.
Okay. Yes, but I really do think because I've kinda said this a couple times, since WrestleMania. I almost feel like that's the point. I think if they're gonna do that, now is the time because he did tap out at Mania, I mean, almost instantly. There wasn't even 10 seconds before he lost at Mania, and I said that that happened because I felt like in the lead up to the match with Jay, Gunther really had lost his confidence. He didn't seem it's like it was this false bravado of, "Oh, I have to show you how tough I am by making Jimmy Uso bleed and do all these theatrics to make you believe how tough I am," rather than just being like the badass tough guy. And he's like faking it. So losing at WrestleMania like that and then having this happen, okay, maybe he has lost a step. So where do they go from here? He's not gonna be able to just be that badass. I don't think that he's going to be able to do that. It did make him look weaker. So now what? Like, who's gonna step in? Where does he turn now? Not Goldberg, clearly, thank God. The hell people we're talking about. So, it makes me interested to see what happens next. But you did. You're absolutely right. It shouldn't have been able to happen, but it did.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know when they're gonna get to this Goldberg Gunther stuff because I mean like it's happening, right? Like we're all gonna see that like at some point unless they make some crazy decision or something. But I mean they've already practically announced it without making it official. But John, thank you so much for your generous super chat. Very kind of you to show support. Ryan Soley here says, "Hey Denise and Wheezy, Alex just asked Jacob Fatu a question at the presser. So happy she's representing you at the PLE. Cheers to you." Yay! So happy. I've been texting back and forth with Alex, Queen of the Ring, and I'm just so thrilled that she's out there to represent this brand. And that was one of the things that I was like really proud of, Wheezy, because this show today, all of my backlash coverage is completely female oriented. I have you on, I have Alex out there. And it was, to me, it was a big deal to be able to send Alex there because first of all, like, just to being able to send somebody out, it makes the brand feel more legit,
Love
Like,
it.
I know that there's people I know I'm gonna be a little cocky right now. I
Do it.
know that there are you know what? I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it. You know what? I'm gonna keep it to myself. I was
Dang
about to
it!
say something and then I took it back. I took it back.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
I know. Okay. Look, I sent Alex out there. I'm very, very proud of that. And I know that there are brands that are bigger than mine that can't even do that for their own people. So for me to be able to do that makes me fucking proud. And that's
You
why I
should
was
be
like,
proud of that.
should I say it? Should I not say it? I'm going to
No,
say
you should. Pat yourself on the back and hype yourself up because I am a firm believer if you don't do it for yourself, like nobody else is gonna do it. Like you should be proud of that. That's awesome. And I'm glad that you sent her because she's amazing. She's amazing. She's
yeah,
so good at what
she
she does.
really
She's
is.
a great person. And thank you for giving us, we all look up to you, not to deter, but we all look up to you. We appreciate you. Thank you for giving us a space because it's hard out here. So we appreciate it.
It's freaking brutal out here, like Olivia Rodrigo says. All right. It's brutal out here. Ryan, thank you so much for the love. We got Bob Ross Jr., who says the Becky Hogan crowd at now. Oh, the Becky Hogan. Because Becky lost to Lyra. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, because everybody was saying that she's Hogan, because she never puts anyone over, et cetera, et cetera. That's the argument that the Becky Hogan crowd says. We got Dominik Cena here who says, "Is Jacob a tweener for hating match interferences?" No, I mean I think he's a babyface. Like he's been feeling like a babyface now for
Yeah.
weeks because he's over. He's getting a babyface reaction, and he's a babyface for not wanting for someone to interfere in his match. So I don't
Yeah.
even see him as a tweener. I see him as a babyface already.
He gets mad. He gets big mad whenever Solo interferes with anything. Does nobody
Yes.
worse.
We got JJ Castillo here who says, "Wheezy back for the post show. This show was overall good. Wheezy, I want to get your thoughts on WWE doing 2 PLEs in a month. Is it too much with storylines being rushed to have filler matches?"
Oh, that's a loaded question because my immediate response wants to be yes, it's too much. I do. And it's not even so much just because it feels rushed. It's just does it need to be a does it need to be a PLE? Does it have to be that? Um, it just felt like a really quick turnover with after WrestleMania. I thought maybe I'd like at least like 4 weeks in between, but I think that's the point of Backlash. It's the point of Backlash. I don't remember what's happening with next month because don't we have
We have a Saturday night's main event happening May 24th. And then at the end of June, we have a Night of Champions. And then after that, wait, I'm sorry. When is the Money in the Bank? Is it June or July?
I think is
It's
that June
June, right?
7th?
June 7th. Okay, so then I'm wrong. I'm skipping one. So it's Saturday night's main event, the 24th. Then early June is Money in the Bank, and then late June is Night of Champions. Sorry, I tend to confuse June and July.
That's
This is a thing I do. So
that's a
like
lot.
my whole life, I've been confusing June and July. It's the same month to me. Okay.
Well,
So
it is so far, I think, like, as far as, like, building wise and storyline wise and match wise, and it's been fine. I think that they've done a really great job of keeping up with it. I think it's selfishly me, just as someone that does this and watches and consumes wrestling, it's a lot. It's just a lot to have it that often.
yeah. Yeah, it is. I don't even know what to say. It is what it is, I guess. I think someone brought up a good point earlier saying that WrestleMania was a little later this year. So then having Backlash right afterwards, it's one of those
That's
things
true.
where it's like, yeah, it did come pretty fast. But thank you so much, JJ Castillo. We got Mike Parker Collects here who says, good on Becky for putting Lyra over. I'd like to see new players in the women's intercontinental title picture now with the fresh call ups. For sure. And I still think that they're going to do a lot more with Becky and Lyra, which is great because Lyra is 100% benefiting from this. Thank you, Mike. We got Bailey Darley here who says, I hope Kyrie or Asuka return to face Lyra. Would love to see those matches, man. 100% agree with that. Thank you, Bailey. We got Sheldon Jackson who says, Denise is officially now the plan B pillow princess.
Good
You threw
Lord.
a fast ball. I had to swing Denise. So just to bring you into the lore, Wheezy, I'm also pillow princess here. And do you know what that means?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Because when I was called a pillow princess for the first time, I was like, what are you talking about, pillow princess? Now I'm fully educated on what a pillow princess is, and I own
Oh,
it.
there's nothing wrong with it. That's fine. Hate
we
it.
got
Whatever.
we got Bob Ross Jr. who says, I've seen enough. CM Punk is dethroning John Cena. I hope so,
I
man.
hope
I'm
so
here for
too.
that.
I'll die.
Dominik Cena says Solo needs his NXT aura back. He had it for a bit. They rushed his NXT time. Honestly, they really did. We got David here who says, I was at Backlash. Oh my God, that was amazing. Hey, yo, David, I'm glad you had a great time at the show, man. That's what matters because you paid your cold hard cash to go there. So I'm glad you got your money's worth. We got Gio here who says, I thought you were doing the review show with Carmen Petrovic, aka the Kill Bill chick. Good compliment, though.
I've heard everything. I've heard that one. I've heard Charlotte Flair, Sol Ruca. I mean, name a blonde.
With
I've
the
heard it.
hair
With the
today,
hair with
so Ruka
Soul
vibes.
it upped it up. I'd gotten it before, but the hair really upped it the last week.
I love that. It's all great compliments,
I'll take it.
honestly. Thank you, Gio. We got Dominik Cena here who says, John Taylor, let me hold $1. Also, I think the reason Solo is being outshined is because of the dad bod he has, unlike when he was in NXT. What? I did not notice the dad bod. I'm sorry. I did not notice
No.
that. Thank you, Dominic. We got the Jam 39 here who says Cena and R-Truth's friendship are over.
Oh, did you yeah, did you see what they're saying?
What did I miss now? On social media too?
Press conference,
Oh, okay.
something
What?
happened between them.
Oh shit. Jesus Christ. I'm like trying to catch up with everything. Thank you, Champ 39. Bailey Darley here says our truth went through the table at a press conference.
Yeah, there it
Oh
is.
my God.
There it
Okay.
is.
Thank you for that, guys. We got Ryan Sully here who says our truth just interrupted John Cena at the presser. Cena 8 him through the presser table. Is our truth Cena's match at Saturday night's main event? Cheers. Hey, yo, if it's gonna happen on any show, it might as well happen
It'd
at
be a good
Saturday
one for
night's
it to
main
happen
event.
on.
That might get more people to tune in because I was looking at Saturday. I'm not going to watch Saturday night's main event live this year. I'm going to a birthday party. And I'm like,
Good
it
for
doesn't really
you.
feel like a show that I should be watching live. No offense, Saturday
I
night's main
didn't the
event.
last one, actually, I didn't either. I was also at, like, a birthday party.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like it doesn't feel like a must,
yeah.
like you have to miss out on whatever you're doing. Thank you, Ryan. We got David Primero here who Backlash says Backlash is all over the place. I'm scared of the next PLE Saturday night's main event, especially Money in the Bank. What do you think? Not sure what to expect. I think they are missing something. I don't know. I feel like if you're a fan of the John Cena stuff, then you're rolling with it. If you're not, then you are missing something because it's not for you. Like for me, the John Cena stuff, it's just not for me. It's just not what I'm interested in right now. And I didn't even realize it. I was giving it a chance after Elimination Chamber. I was excited about it. And then today I was hit with the cold hard truth that damn, I don't think I'm that invested right now.
That's such a good way to put it. I always try to find a good way for people that talk to me about certain things that they're not really into, and I never wanna tell someone like, "Oh, there's obviously nothing wrong with you not being into something," but just saying that like, "Oh, it's not for me." That's a really good way to word it. I'm gonna steal that.
Take it, take it, take it. We got Bailey Darley here who says, are you going to Money in the Bank, Denise, since it's in your hometown? I haven't decided. Again, I might just do the media side of it, guys, and just stick around and do my watch alongs. Again, I prefer to do the watch alongs because I'm able to see better than sitting in the press box. Truth be told, that's my
Yep,
honest opinion. And
absolutely.
and and that's just how it is. You've been in the press box
You
and
miss
it's
everything. You can't analyze it properly because you're up I'm so sorry to be but, like,
no,
you
you're
you
good.
can't analyze it properly because you can't hear commentary, you miss key things that happen, you can't see everything. What's the point?
And that's how I kind of felt about it. Yeah. And so I feel like unless you like kind of see that, you don't really realize it until
Yeah.
you do. But yeah, I prefer to watch the show comfortably. Thank you, Bailey. We got Uncle Donk here who says Pat versus Gunther was a typical underdog story. Obviously, Pat wasn't going to win, but in the end, the crowd was really entertained. What does this match do to Gunther's image? I see Gunther being drafted to SmackDown. Some fresh news from some fresh new opponents. SmackDown has a lot of people that I would love to see mix it up with Gunther. I would love to see him and Jacob Fatu. I'd love to see him and Jeff Cobb. Oh shit! Now all I want to do is see Gunther on SmackDown. But then again, we don't know when the draft's happening and what the plans are and who's going to bounce back and forth. But yeah, there's still a lot of. I think for me, I'm still freaking waiting for that Gunther Ludwig storyline. Like that
I know.
never happened.
We're not pulling the trigger on a lot of things that I feel like should have been already, or even breakups. There's just a lot of things I feel like are kind of like just hanging in the rafters, like waiting to be plucked. Are we gonna do it or not?
Exactly. All right. So BTW, there's only one match we haven't gotten into. Thank you so much, Uncle Donk. And that, my friends, is Dominik Mysterio versus Penta. I did this match was just there for me. At this point, it was the third match of the night, and I was thinking, this is the weakest match of the night so far because we had that really good women's match right before it, and then we had a really good opener with the Fatal 4-Way. So I was looking at this and going, I'm not really that interested in it. But El Grande Americano comes in, headbutts Penta. He's wearing that thing that he's been putting in his mask the last couple of weeks. And so Dominik Mysterio hits a frog splash, retains his Intercontinental Championship. It was what it was. Did this blow you away at all?
No, it didn't. I was really happy with the outcome. The things that popped me the most, honestly, were just Finn getting taken out. There were a couple of the was it Penta friggin' jumping over the referee and onto
Oh,
the
yes.
rest of they're still judging me, Judgment Day out on the outside of the ring. But Dominic looked great. They had so many they had a couple cool, like, great sequences between the two of them. But overall, yeah, I mean, it was what it was. El Grande Americano, we don't have any like clear direction of what's really happening with him or that. So I'm just kind of in limbo with it of okay, well, cool, Dom's still a champion, love that. But as far as everything else, I don't really I'm just gonna sitting back and waiting to see what happens with it.
Yeah, I mean, we all knew Dominic was going to win straightforward. I was just kind of hoping for a better matchup, but
Yeah.
it was fine. It was just what it was. There wasn't anything too crazy, but
I do
and we didn't
oh,
even
the
get
only
many super chats about it.
no, the only thing I did wanna say about it is because I have been the person hoping and waiting at some point that Finn Balor was gonna do something, to interfere with Dominic or cost Dominic something, and the only thing was, okay, again, hanging, waiting in the rafters as they're leaving, I noticed Finn, like, looking, he's looking back, he's, like, not really excited, and he kinda kept glancing down at the title. So, okay, is it actually going to happen at some point? Like, what is gonna be the tipping point where it actually happens?
There's a lot of breakups that I feel have been at that tipping point and just haven't happened, and that is one of those.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, and that's one to wait for on Monday Night Raw. We got Howie Potter here who says Denise hosting with So Ruka. Congrats, girl. I told you I was a big So Ruka fan. I booked her, guys. Thank you, Howie.
I wish
We
I was
got
that athletic.
imagine out here busting soul snatchers.
I wish.
We got Lennox Coleman who says who will face John Cena for the title next. Oh, I don't know. I mean, someone threw out our truth for Saturday night's main event. It
That might
really
happen.
feels it might. You
That
never
might
know.
happen, yeah.
It feels really open-ended right now as to who will be next. Thank you, Lennox. I wish I had a better answer for you, man. We got Bob Ross Jr. here who says, I have a feeling that Hollywood Trick Williams is dethroning Joe Hendry at Battleground. Bro, you and me, I'm with you on this. I have a feeling Joe Hendry's I'm sorry, I have a feeling Trick Williams might actually become NXT champion. I'm sorry, TNA champion at NXT Battleground. And I actually kind of think Jordan Grace might even defeat Stephanie Vaquera. That's where I'm at right now with that. So we'll see. Thank you, Bob Ross. We got the Champ 39 who says, I want to give a shout out to Wheezy. It's great to see you team up with Denise, and I hope there would be more collaborations in the near future. Hell
Thank
yeah.
you. Thanks.
Thank you, Champ 39.
Shucks.
We got Dominic Cena here who says, for sponsors, we're brought to you by our super chats. Yeah, for real. It's 100%. Thank you so much, Dominic Cena. All right, so I'm officially all caught up with everything, and I think we're pretty much wrapping up our show here today. Before we go, of course, I want to give Wheezy the floor to promote her stuff and let people know where they can support her and support her content and all of that.
I am currently really trying to focus on growing my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Wheezy Blonde at Wheezy Blonde. I do stream there every Monday, Friday. I'm going to be incorporating some more in real life streams. I work at conventions and I go to different wrestling shows, trying to work on interviewing more fans and getting more fan interaction in real time. And I also have an Instagram channel. That is where I post most of my reactions and a bunch of silly stuff. That's where you can keep updated with me the most. And I do have a Twitch, twitch.tv/wheezyblonde. I live stream there as well. Experimenting with a lot of different things at the moment, just trying to find my place and what I enjoy the most. I've never really been super analytical. So I like meeting people like Denise and certain other people that I can actually talk about wrestling with and have a discussion and it be like productive. So thank you for having me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you all for being nice to me too.
Well, you're killing it, honestly.
Thanks.
And that's the thing. Like, I'm gonna post all of what else? I was gonna say all of the descriptions. I'm gonna post all of the links in the description box below where you guys can support Wheezy and check out her work and all of that. As for me, if you're already here on the YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel, daily pro wrestling content. I uploaded 2 interviews today, one with Mercedes Monet, if you guys want to check that one out, and then also Mina Shirakawa. Check those out. I'm trying to post content each and every single day. It's a lot, but it's going up. So all of those, and then all of these social medias, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, @ Denise Salcedo. That's a wrap for us here today. Thank you guys so freaking much, and enjoy your Mother's Day weekend, everybody. Take care. Bye, everyone.